Good morning. I'm sitting here just thinking about how good God is. It's been kind of a tough season and busy, and God's just doing a lot of new things. But today He just reminded me again that His way is so much better and His plan is so much better. I felt like I wasn't supposed to get gas. I was just supposed to wait on Him and trust Him, and even though my fuel gauge was telling me I had nothing in it, God allowed me to come to a place where I could use a gift card to pay for gas and just continue to trust Him. And I made it all the way here when I shouldn't have. So I'm just thinking how good God is, and just wanted to remind you of that. So that's why I have a hat on, because it's cold outside. Today we're going to read Mark 14 verses 1 through 11, and I just wanted to apologize that I haven't been keeping my commitment to you to do this every morning early. I'm trying to figure out a different way to make sure I get it submitted in time. A lot of these mornings I've just really had trouble getting up, and part of it's been because I've been sick, but part of it's been that I just haven't prioritized it, and so I just wanted to apologize and ask for your forgiveness. So, Mark 14. The plot to kill Jesus. It was now 2 days before the Passover and the Feast of Unleavened Bread, and the chief priests and scribes were seeking how to arrest him by stealth and kill him, for they said, "Not during the feast, lest there be an uproar from the people." And while Jesus was at Bethany in the house of Simon the leper, he was reclining at the table. A woman came in with an alabaster flask of ointment of pure nard, very costly, and she broke the flask and poured it over his head. There were some who said to themselves indignantly, "Why was the ointment wasted like that? For this ointment could have been sold for more than 300 denarii and given to the poor." And they scolded her. But Jesus said, "Leave her alone. Why do you trouble her? She has done a beautiful thing to me, for you always have the poor with you, and whenever you want and can do good for them. But you will not always have me. She has done what she could. She has anointed my body beforehand for the burial. And truly I say to you, wherever the gospel is proclaimed in the whole world, what she has done will be told in memory of her." Judas to betray Jesus. Then Judas Iscariot, who was one of the 12, went to the chief priests in order to betray him to them. And when they heard it, they were glad and promised to give him money. And he sought an opportunity to betray him. So what I think is really interesting is she has done a beautiful thing. She has done what she could. She has anointed my body, and she gave all that she had. And yes, it was a lot for the time, but it also was what she had. And so I think it's really really cool that Jesus recognized that, and just really trying to live a life of generosity, giving what you have. Jesus doesn't ask us to give what we don't have. He just asks us to give what we do have for His kingdom. And Judas saw that what he saw was like an extravagant waste, even though it was like a sweet offering to Jesus, but it made his heart turn to seek to betray Jesus for his own personal gain. I think it's interesting that those are the parallel accounts right there, that they're right next to each other. So I think for me, as I'm spending more time with Jesus, am I becoming more like Him and seeing through His perspective, or am I still more like the world and trying to look what can happen for my own gain? And sometimes when I'm serving Jesus, I have to look, am I looking to make Jesus known, or am I looking to make me known and famous? And I think that's a struggle and a tension that I wrestle with. And so I just want to encourage you today, how can we live generously for Jesus? So let me pray, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Dear Jesus, I just thank you for these sweet and precious daughters, Lord, the time we have together to come to Bible study, and just to remember who you are, Lord. Allow your word to change us. Allow your word to make us more like you, and just help us live a life of generosity, seeking to give you what we have, and not being jealous of what we don't have. It's in your name I pray. Amen.